All right, hello and welcome back to the Prospect eSports Showdown. Today we're going to be watching one of the matches from the lower division. We will be seeing Team Gannicus versus Frost Nova. I'm joined today by my co-caster Athena.
Hi guys, how are you going today? Hope you're all tuned in to watch today's showing.
Yeah, and so today we're going to be having pretty exciting match here. Two teams who have been, both doing relatively well throughout the season, looking to put another win up on the board for themselves.
Looks like we're going to get started quite shortly. What do we know about these teams? They're both lower division. So we're looking at, the gold average for lowers. I think we've seen Gannicus stream before, but I think this is Frost Nova's, uh, what do they call that? Um, First showing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and Frost Nova coming with a relatively good records so far from what I'm seeing. As right now, they are second place in this lower division. They are at 5-2 right now versus Gannicus, who's actually in that fourth place position. Just outside of that podium finish with third place at 6-4. And so these teams only just about one or two games apart from each other. So this is definitely going to be a very important match to decide that top seeding for the lower bracket for the lower division here. Yeah, so this should definitely be one of the more exciting matches coming in. As always, having two of these teams who are top four teams duking it out a little bit later into the season. Um, when it has those playoff implications, it's both teams always play like their lives are on the line, and it always makes for a great series. So it should definitely be a very interesting one to see today, and it'll also be very interesting to see if Frost Nova, whether or not they'll be able to take the win and take that first place in the lower division away from Team Josh, who is currently the one sitting up there.
Yeah, so we're going to have a choice of either Ilios or Nepal for the first map. Frost Nova is within rights to choose their map today based on their position in the standings. So we'll have to see what they choose. It looks like they're going to choose Nepal today. Personally, I really like Nepal. What do you think of Nepal, Killswitch?
I mean, okay, Nepal is one of my personal favorite maps in the game, just purely because you get a lot of variety between the three different points. Especially looking at Sanctum, it's so different from the other two that you get on that map. You get to see a lot of different things coming out from teams. You have those two more typical Brawly style maps in Village and Shrine, where you can run that Ryan Diva, Ryan Zarya, right? But then you also have a little bit more of a spammy type map going into Sanctum, a lot more longer sightlines, but more of an exposed point. And so it's always very interesting to see how teams typically stack up on this map and how they stack up in those different matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. And something I'm hoping to see, especially on Sanctum, is some nice Lucio boops or, ball might come into play. Because I think at the moment it's very much, we're seeing a lot of rush meta. Um, and Nepal having three wildly different points will hopefully give us a bit of a, variety to give us something interesting to look at and see the different strengths of the two teams because Gannicus is actually having three subs today. So I'm wondering if that means that they've got like some specialists that play certain heroes that we'll see come and play. And it looks like both teams are ready now. So it looks like we're going to get this game rolling.
Yep. And so let's see what point we'll be heading to first, or actually it seems it's going to take 1 second before we're able to see that, but yeah, so heading into Nepal here, we're going to be seeing both of these teams preparing to duke it out. And so in just one moment, we should be getting ourselves set up into the lobby.
Traveling to Nepal.
And all right, it looks like we're going to be starting out a first map going to be Shrine. And like I was saying, a lot more of a typically more brawly, rush favored style of map versus the other maps of this, the other points on this map, such as Sanctum. And so it should be very interesting to see, what compositions these two teams decide to show here. As we will be able to see, the starting hero lock-ins for both teams in just about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was just it's on Shrine at the moment, so we've got that wonderful point that has that nice column in the middle to play around with, or sometimes you'll get teams sort of rotate to take advantage of the open space around Elephant and get some sort of flank style picks if they want to play sort of more long range. So we'll have to see what it looks like. We've got one brawl team versus one Sim Bash and TP map.
No,
not quite.
Yeah.
They're just trolling me. They're just trolling.
Yeah, they were baiting us. But yeah, both teams seeming to run out on very similar compositions here, except for, the slight difference being the Zarya versus D.Va and also this Mei versus McCree. But immediately they're both going to clash into each other on point. In goes Triangulum on the Reaper, trying to look for a couple of early kills, but out comes the land from Lewis, keeps everybody alive. Icky drops low though and is eventually going to get killed by Dome. And in they push Dome, just trying to zone off Scarrow away from the point here. Big gets caught a little bit out of position as Rook is able to find that kill. And now this is actually going to give them a chance to start pushing back in. Rook gets the bubble, starts walking forward, but isn't going to keep him alive for just long enough. Supreme Fudge able to take that out. Tack ends up falling on the side of the point. And now it looks like they're going to be completely warded off.
Very, very nice and strong play there by Blue there. That would be Gannicus. Massive shatter.
It has to do it for a little bit of the ego play, definitely.
Yeah, I love to see that bit of that asserting of dominance there. Dome is definitely seeming to be very, very strong and aggressive. That's what I like seeing straight away.
Yeah, Dome definitely, taking that fight into his own hands, just pushing forward, being able to find that early kill into Icky to really set up that fight for Gannicus. Now here, it looks like Frost Nova actually going to be going around this coast side of point, trying to set up in the same position as they were before, but immediately drops the window from Lewis. Tries to find themselves a little bit of damage and just zoning to force their way into point. But out comes the counter Lewis from White Whale, as well as the Blizzard coming in fifth.
Very big Blizzard.
Huge Blizzard and Triangulum just dropping the Death Blossom right on top of it, able to find 2 kills. Even though Rook is able to take out Triangulum, I don't think it's going to be enough as Battletoad chases Rook off the map. And now with Icky going down, it's going to be Frost Nova having to reset here.
Yeah, certainly Gannicus here is just, coming out strong. They seem to have a really good thing. I like that they didn't use every single ult. Their tanks held back. And they're just up. They've got 2 ults to only just the 1 on Frost Nova. So big plays there, I think, by Gannicus showing early dominance.
Yeah, but now Scarrow going to be switching over to the Reaper of their own to try and find that counter kill. And there it is right there, taking out Dome. Both immortality fields are going to be dropped, but White Whales will fall first. And now it's just going to be Frost Nova trying to push into this. And Scarrow able to find a second round of the Vig. Tack takes out White Whale and Triangulum falls down. And that's going to be Frost Nova being able to take his point. And even though they were down ultimates, they're able to make that play. Scarrow gets behind that Ryan shield and finds the early pick to set up that fight.
Honestly, I think that was all Rook there. Did you see that wall he put in? It just caught the D.Va bomb and just really stuffed the whole play by Gannicus. So good work there for Rook.
Yeah, but now you can see that Gannicus, while they were so far ahead in that in that ult bank earlier, now going to be forced to push into this Blizzard from Rook here. And that's definitely a very scary ultimate. You have to watch Supreme Fudge, see if whether or not this D.Va is going to be able to find the E on the Blizzard, because if Supreme Fudge is not able to find it, this could be a very rough fight. In comes the immediate window though, and it looks like they might not even need the Blizzard. Window is enough to add that extra powered shots into the Reaper, takes out Dome, is able to take White Whale out as well. Scarrow just doing all the damage in the backline here. And now Triangle tries to push the point to reset, but that's all he will be doing.
Very, very unfortunate there for Gannicus. They weren't really able to do much. I mean, they are going to have their own Blizzard now, but just being able to use just Window there was very, very good for Frostnova.
Oh, Supreme Fudge is getting absolutely mega staggered in the backline.
That is a huge stagger. You don't see that sort of refrain much in GM, let alone lowers. So good work on Frostnova there.
Yeah, no, this is gonna put it into a final fight situation for Gannicus. They have to win this fight, otherwise this could be the round. And just take a look at the ult bank on Frostnova. There are 5 check marks up in that top right side of the screen.
Yeah, it's gonna be 5-3 ultimates here.
Oh, but it is actually gonna be Vig using the Blizzard first, and comes the Shatter. Out comes the. Oh, Scarrow in the back.
So much going on. Picks on both sides.
Scarrow able to find 2, but after all of this, it seems like the fight's going to be shaking out in favor of Frostnova. Scarrow able to find that massive Death Blossom, kills 2, and there's really just nothing that Gannicus can do there.
And there was no Lucio ult there for Gannicus. I think that was the thing. You know, they just couldn't offset that massive amount of damage coming in because they had no sound barrier.
Yeah, definitely. And you saw, even at the very end there, Battletoad only able to get up to that 90%. And, you know, it was good on them to try and take that initiation, to try and look for those ults first with that early Blizzard coming out from Vig. But a nice shatter from Icky, you know, stops Dome from being able to follow up on it. And then there are just more ultimates on the side of Frostnova, able to bring that one back.
Looks like we're entering a pause here. Gannicus has requested the pause. So we'll have to see what that's all about. Might be some connection problems, which in this, you know, Blizzard small indie company, what can you expect?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, on that first round though, it was just crazy because you saw Gannicus come in and just absolutely dominate throughout that early half of the round. And then Frostnova ends up taking it back and just holds onto that point with a death grip. Absolutely amazing play coming in there from Frostnova during that second half of the round to take a point which looked like it was almost certainly going in favor of Gannicus and just completely flip it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gannicus was like so aggro initially and just had so much dominance, and for Frostnova to come back like that, it was actually really, really good to see. And it's just so funny control points that way. It's not really like a snowball. You get that reset. So it looks like White Whale here has left the game, so he might be having some connection problems. So I imagine that's the source of our pause.
Yeah. But also, if you look into that last round, right, I feel like that Scarrow swap onto the Reaper and Talk swapping off of the Zarya onto that Diva were just 2 huge things. And especially you saw it even in that first fight where Scarrow was over onto that Reaper, able to just hard push onto that Rhine, get behind the shield, and just find the kill. And it felt like every single fight, Frostnova was able to set up for Scarrow to go for these, you know, big push plays and find these kills in the backline. Especially, I remember there was one fight where there was a great window coming out from Lewis, which allowed Scarrow to just pump so much damage through. And I mean, Reaper does a lot of damage already, even without that 2 times buff coming in from the Baptiste window. So
yeah,
definitely like a huge swap in there coming out from Scarrow to, you know, move from that McCree onto that Reaper, a bit more of an aggressive pick.
yeah, absolutely. Like you've definitely got a lot of more sort of forward momentum, sort of with that huge amount of damage coming alongside that Reinhardt. It definitely suits that sort of play. Obviously, it's a little bit weaker in longer fights, but I think, you know, if you want to play that aggressive play style, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a Reaper May comp.
Yeah, definitely. And you saw even up to that final fight there with huge death blossoms coming in from both sides really. Scarrow getting 2, Triangle trying to get that 1 back in return, but yeah, definitely a very close round there for that first one. But it seems like we will be heading into this second round relatively soon. White Whale is back into the game now, so we're just waiting on the ready ups coming in from both teams so that we can get back into the second round. And it looks like we are going to be heading into Village here. Another map which is, relatively similar to Shrine, definitely more similar to Shrine than Sanctum is, with a lot more of that same rushy, brawly type compositions being very much so favored here.
Alrighty, so just going to start this now. Yeah, I think we'll definitely see the Reaper probably come out again unless they choose to run Sim May. We'll see a lot of point play. It looks like it might be like double shield. So that's more like of a bunker, like live on the point style play.
Capture the objective.
Yeah. The Orisa Ryan definitely makes it difficult for the other team to push into you once you've already set yourself up, especially with that Symmetra.
Yeah, especially with that recent buff with Orisa, she can be almost impossible to kill when she is using her golden.
Yeah, and it looks like Frostnova are actually going to take point first, but Talk not able to get that golden up just in time, ends up falling early. Luckily though, Icky is able to find a nice kill onto Vig to secure this hold on a point, and it looks like they might be able to cap. Gannicus is just going to have to back up a little bit here.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Really pushing the point, and now with White Whale going down, they might have to just fully back up. They decide just to try and look for a final push on the point, but without your Baptiste, you just melt to those Symmetra turrets.
Yeah, those Symmetra turrets can be like so punishing. But yeah, White Whale really needed to play more corners there. He was just sort of standing in the open. And just because like they're playing a brawl comp doesn't mean that May can't right click you in the head.
Yeah, now actually it seems like Frostnova going to be taking the high ground here to try and start from. Gannicus going to go around.
Yeah, they do have that TP on point, so they can rotate nice and quick.
Yeah, that's a nice TP. Stops Gannicus from being able to move into the point. And now in comes the big shatter coming out from Icky. Only able to find one, but it's going to be just about enough for them to take out White Whale. Dome ends up falling. Triangulum just gets pushed on as Rook and Icky just start walking forward and cleaning everybody up.
Yeah, Icky blocked like a really nice shatter there. Like the Orisa shield was down and he was able to block that shatter in time. So yeah, that was just very, very clean fight by Frostnova.
Yeah, and definitely I feel like this TP strat back on the point was so important there to make sure they hold, but oh, Rook immediately going down and Triangulum gets pushed.
Big picks by Triangulum.
2 huge kills here, and now everybody on the side of Frostnova is forced back onto the point. Still, Gannicus has to push into these Symmetra turrets, and now a Symmetra wall waiting for them. Icky just going to play behind it, trying to stay alive, but Reinhardt's hammer goes right through that wall. But Scarrow dropping the Blizzard, tries to just keep them alive for a little bit longer, but in comes the beat from Battletoad, beat from early Vincent as well. And now there is just yet of ults being used in the point. In comes trade after trade, White Whale able to find 3, just keeping the team in this one. Staying on the point, able to actually flip the cap, and Gannicus looks like they're going to be taking this fight and taking the point here.
Yeah, very, very nice place by Gannicus. There were some nice attempts at trying to stop that push, but I think just those early 2 picks just put Frostnova on the back foot for that fight.
Yeah, and I mean, really good just, I guess recognition coming in from Gannicus there to push that high ground, to try and just knock them off of their first instead of just moving to the point. But it looks like Frostnova able to get that TP over, but in comes a bomb into the back line. Oh, just about is able to take out Talk. Seems like he just about walked outside of that Reinhardt shield. And now with the Blizzard going in to take out Icky, it seems like that's going to be the end of this fight here. Everyone on Frostnova having to reset.
Very clean. I'm a little bit disappointed that shatter came out. I feel like either they needed to farm a bit more or just take a dry fight there. They want to come into, they only need to win one fight. I think they should just get their ults up and make like one secure push, Yeah,
and now it looks like they're going to be going mid again, trying to find this same rotation from the TP. And they will send themselves and set themselves up on point. And now it looks like Dome going to try and push into this, but out from the
nice wall. big wall on, like, blocking off Dome there. They were just able to take him out.
Yeah, and then now after your Reinhardt falls, there's nothing to block all of this damage coming in, and Rook able just picks up the beam and melts through everybody on the side of Gannicus. That's going to be Frost Nova taking this first map.
Yeah, very, very nice play there by Frost Nova. Yeah, on that first map, we thought it wasn't looking quite that way, but on that second map, they were just dominant by far. Good map to both teams, though. Yeah, that was a nice shatter. Being able to just use that one ultimate for a fight is just so good.
Yeah, just massive to just set it up, and then him and Rook able to just push forward, just walk forward onto everybody on the other team, and that Symmetra and Reinhardt swings just do so much damage in that situation.
I do believe it is the losing team there who will pick for our next map. And I believe the two maps, it's Assault now, and it'll be between Hanamura and Temple of Anubis.
I definitely think both maps should be relatively good for Gannicus, just purely because if I'm Gannicus here, I don't really want to try and force another, brawly, rushy type map versus Frost Nova. Then again, I mean, Hanamura has quite a bit of that, though you can try a couple of other comps. I feel like probably Temple of Anubis might be the better pick here, and it seems like they are going to end up picking Temple. But yeah, definitely, I would say personally the better map pick, just purely because Frost Nova seems to just be dominant playing this rush, this brawl style of composition. They really put on a very nice show in the beginning. And it looks like we're also going to be getting a couple of swaps here for Gannicus. White Whale is going to be coming out for MC, and Choi is going to be coming in for Supreme Fudge. So, new map, a couple of swaps coming in. It should be very exciting to see how Gannicus is actually able to stack up here. Oh, and also they ended up swapping out Vig for Milan. So
Yeah, so maybe these swaps may indicate they might be moving to a different comp. Maybe it'll be more like a double bubble type comp, because we have had the main tank swap, the aim support swap, and probably, I think that was their projectile type player. So I'm probably expecting a bit of, like, maybe double bubble might come out here. It's where you're going to have the Ana, perhaps the monkey. So this should be interesting to see. We might see a bit of tracer play come in. Temple of Anubis is certainly a map that you can run double bubble on both points, particularly the first point, attack, and yeah. So it'll be good to see. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit of something different. We'll see these teams hopefully come up ready. Frost Nova, I think, only have the one sub this week, and I'm not sure they're going to bring him in at this stage.
yeah, and so the one good thing for Gannicus about having all these subs is that they're essentially fielding half of a different team coming into the second map. So a lot of what we saw in map 1, where we saw Gannicus just about coming up short in a lot of these duels versus Frost Nova, some of that might switch up with a lot of these substitutions coming in. So definitely, there is definitely a lot of hope for Gannicus coming into the second map here. That it's not just going to go the same way that the first one did.
Yeah, we'll definitely see a lot of variety here. Although I thought White Whale, he was quite instrumental on that BAP. At times he did save his team or be that bit of difference in the fight, getting a few picks, especially on that point that they won on Village. There was a very good play there by him. A bit of positional error, but yeah, I was kind of surprised to see them bring him out, because I thought he was doing very well. Though they are keeping Triangulum, and Triangulum has been getting picks in the fights. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of it could also be, like you were saying, if they maybe want to try something other than the Baptiste, something like an Ana here, perhaps with that double bubble comp. Maybe you bring in MC to play that Ana. Maybe it's just something about hero pools and comfortability on the hero. But yeah, definitely White Whale doing a lot through that first map, but should be exciting to see how MC is able to play in that same flex support spot.
Choi Su Juana wants everyone to know that they can't bench them all, so they will get some swapping in and out from the looks throughout the map.
Ready for battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So
it seems...
we are seeing that double bubble come on attack as shown, but it looks like we're going to stick with Brawl for the defense of first point.
Yeah, Gannicus rolling out on a very similar composition to the one that they were just on, especially now with that Maesop coming in. The only difference being now that Choi Su-hwan is going to be on the Zarya versus earlier in that first map we saw Supreme Fudge playing the Diva. But other than that, completely same composition for them, but just a couple of different players throughout some of those slots. So it should be very interesting to see how this plays, especially going up against that double bubble from Frost Nova.
Yeah, early pulses coming in from Rook. He gets a clear 15% off of that for his ultimate charge.
Yeah, and now you can see both teams just kind of setting up. The flanking DPS going top right for the side of Frost Nova, but Icky just gonna end up falling, getting a little bit too close to the sun here. Triangulum knocks him out before that, before he is able to actually be saved, and now Triangulum just pushing farther, taking out Rook, and Dome just walks onto that Brigitte in that right side room. And there's not much you can really do as a Brig versus a Reinhardt just swinging into you.
I'm loving Triangulum here. He's just like going all around and just like taking out these people, 1v1ing them in the back line. It's very nice to see. Like, usually you just see like, Reapers just sort of stay inside their Reinhardt, but he's sort of playing that sort of almost Kree-ish type role and dealing with these flankers.
Yeah, and definitely really good from him, especially into the composition that they're playing against, right? He takes out that Winston, takes out that big frontline pressure, and realizes that the biggest threat from there is going to be that Echo. But now he
left his team for a while there. That was a bit odd, and he is low and suffering for it. Heals are coming in for him, though, fortunately.
Yeah, and now the entirety of Gannicus has to actually give up that front high ground because they had to peel back for that Tracer. Luckily, they're able to actually find the kill, so it will be a +1 trade for them. And now with them pushing on to top, that's going to be, them going up 2 in this fight. Icky trying to jump out and just leaves the Brig all alone in the backline here, kind of to be sacrificed. But Lewis actually investing the nano onto Icky here. Able to find Dom, but I'm not sure if there's going to be much more coming in after that. Triangle, I'm actually able to escape using that double step.
Zarya here.
Yeah, takes the Zarya, and Icky is actually able to find a second one on a McWizard. Triangle drops the Death Blossom, kills Lewis. There goes a lot of healing, but Triangle himself will fall, and now this is a very close fight. In comes both the Blizzard and the Grav, gonna be able to actually catch onto Tuck and early Vincent, taking both of them out. And now that's actually gonna put Gannicus quite far ahead in this fight, especially now with Battletoad, giving Scarrow a little bit of a knuckle sandwich in the backline.
Yeah, this is a very effective defense here by Gannicus. Definitely very, very nice.
Yeah, huge Blizzard coming out from Milan to, lock down 2 of them along with that grab from Choi to find them 2 kills in such a close fight, which really just, stops there being any chance of a bit of a longer scrap there, which would favor the attackers with a little bit of a closer spawn there. But in
big ultimate, nice wall, but MC Wizard really uses his jump packer very effectively then to save most of his team.
Yeah, but it just about won't be enough for Dome. Ends up taking a little bit too much damage, and now without that immortality field being up, in comes a massive grab coming out from Talk, and Icky just sends the fire strike through it, gets 2, gets a 3rd on MC, and it's just clean up for the rest of Frost Nova.
Now Battletoad hasn't used his ult yet, has he? He's only at 57%. So that's a second map in a row that he's not really staying on track with his ultimate. I mean, this map's already, 4 minutes in, and he doesn't have his ultimate. It's not very ideal.
Actually, I think he might have used it during that early close fight. But still, really would have loved to have that beat there after that that lamp is invested, but again, a great wall coming out from Rook to force that immortality field, and now in comes the trade of windows, but it looks like Gannicus is gonna win out here with Triangulum, takes out Icky, Lewis falls down, and now they're able to just push forward, clean up Scarrow, and now there are 2 trapped in the spawn.
Very nice cleanup.
Wrong one, buddy. And now down go all of them on the side of Frost Nova. They're gonna have to look for a reset here, but they will have 3 ults coming into this next fight.
Yeah, looking at the ultimates, there is a slight advantage on the attacker's side, but Gannicus is coming up on almost 4 ults, so really they do need to make this push, and they need to make this push soon, and they have to expect that barrier here.
In come the DPS ultimates, Blizzard ends up missing
nice. Takes out Battletoad. He had the barrier, he didn't use it, and I think his team is going to suffer for it. They're all going to be hit down here.
A massive chatter coming in from Icky, actually able to clean up everybody who's left alive.
Triangulum just trying with that Reaper ult, but it's not going to be enough. And Battletoad's got his ult here now, but it's too late. He hasn't used it. He's still not using it. I think he's going to try and see if the rest of his team can make it before he does.
Yeah, no one on Frost Nova though actually able to find any kills here, and in comes a big grab from Choi. Eventually in comes the beat from Battletoad, gonna keep everybody alive for just a little bit longer, but Dome is charged completely off the point.
Yeah.
Luckily though, MC and Triangulum both able to find a couple of kills, and they're able to just completely push forward here.
Yeah, that's really, really unfortunate for Frost Nova. They should have had at least a tick there. They weren't focusing hard enough, I think, on that Lucio. And so Battletoad, even though I would say, you know, he should have used his beat earlier, just due to pure luck almost, he was able to clutch with his beat in the second fight, and not even a tick was given. Not even a tick was claimed.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate that target focus just not being there, but they're gonna look to try and make something more happen. But oh, in come both windows, but Lewis immediately falls. Triangulum finds the shots through, and now with Milan taking out Talk and Icky going down, it looks like that fight is gonna be over, but not quite, says Rook. Drops the Blizzard, able to actually find 3-4.
Oh my goodness me.
It's a huge Blizzard, but it's going to be a 4-for-4 trade, and I'm not sure how good this is actually going to be for the attack. Battletoad now is able to find Rook.
Too many.
Yeah, Battletoad finds 2 in the end there, and massive Blizzard coming out from Rook. Able to find them 4, but the issue is that it's too late, right? These 2 CP spawns are just too quick for you to be taking any kind of fight where you're already down 3.
Yeah, oh, if only he was able to do that just a fraction earlier. We're going to have Triangulum, Milan, and Battletoad's going to have their ults this one to just the 2 ults of Grab and Creole that don't really have any synergy.
In comes the Creole here, is going to actually lock up Triangulum. Triangulum, though, able to use that Wraith Walk away, and the Deadeye not able to find anything. Luckily, though, Scara able to kill that Reaper right after he comes out of that Wraith Walk, but still, it's just about not going to be enough. Milan finding the shots, cleaning up the kills in the back of the point. Eventually, it's just going to be early Vincent left, but that Lucio will not survive long. He takes a Fire Strike to the face, and that's going to be all for the Frost Nova attack.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Yeah, so very, very nice hold, both on first and second by Gannicus. They certainly have a good defensive strategy. Yeah, definitely they have a very good defensive strategy here. They did lose that first point, but it was only because of a significant amount of ultimate advantage there on that first point. And so, you know, it's sort of how you expect it to go. I think most people who are defending a 2CP do expect to at some point lose that first point, and it's just about getting as much time off the clock as possible so that you can then full hold on second. And certainly that is the way that went for Gannicus. It is now up to, you know, Icky and Co on Frost Nova here to try and do something similar, though this time they will be really, really, really wanting to avoid that draw or avoid losing potential on the second point. So they're going to try and hold first point. So we hope that they're going to, they're going to be less risky. They're not going to peak as much. And they're just going to try and abuse all that AoE damage that you get from a double shield Ashe Junkrat comp.
Yeah, definitely going to be a lot of spam here, which it's going to be really difficult to deal with on the side of Gannicus, especially without that D.Va. It looks like they're immediately going to be trying to rotate into the bottom left here, but Rook able to find that counter. Yeah, and I mean, trying to rotate through those little rooms on Anubis while you have a Junkrat shooting into you, you have Sigma shooting into you, you just have so much damage getting poured in, and as well as Caro, making sure to not be forgotten, getting 2 kills on the exit of the side of Gannicus. Yeah, definitely. There's so much poke here. It's so impossible to try and path through because once those Zarya bubbles are gone, there's not much other than a Rhine shield to keep you alive, and even a Rhine shield dies relatively quickly against those Junkrat mines. Looks like they're just going to try and push straight to point though, but they still have to worry about this Ashe just shooting in from higher ground, and it seems like no one really paid enough attention there because Dome is going to fall very early. They dropped down the immortality field, but it's gonna die pretty quickly, and Scaro's still on this big flank here. Triangle and trying to find something in the backline.
Very long fight. You definitely don't want one of these long fights going on when you're defending, do you?
Yeah, definitely not, because in are coming the respawns here. Dome just about making it back to the point. Gonna start looking for a couple of nice swings. Lewis goes down, and even the Rook gets revived. With early Vincent dying, there's no healing left on the point for Talk.
Nice, one nice junk tire, but it's not enough. They can't shut down Triangulum. I mean, really, Triangulum, I think, has to be the #1 target for Frost Nova. He's definitely performing both these 2 maps. He's just getting some of these critical kills. So Frost Nova really wants to shut him down, I think.
Yeah, Frost Nova there just not keeping up much target focus after Dome goes down, allows Triangulum to find their way, into that backline to kill Rook, forces out the Resurrect, and even though Rook comes back to life and finds that tire kill, it's still just about not enough to keep themselves alive on that first point. But now, in comes an early window.
Nice dynamite from Scarrow. Bob coming in.
Yeah, and out comes a massive flux. That's going to keep everybody up in the air. Battletail gets dropped down to half HP, but not going to die. Triangle and killing down Scarrow's Bob. And now they're just going to wait a second on the side of Gannicus. Want to get a couple more resources, but now here comes the push. Dome goes far into the backline, trying to find Icky, and him and Battletoad will get the job done. Now Tack falls down. In comes a big grab coming in from Choi. Is going to find 2 of them.
A lot of kills here, and that's a very clean take there, actually.
Yeah, just really good play there, especially just deciding to take that 1 second to just chill during their second point attack. Realize that they don't want to push at that exact moment. They need to wait for the resources. So they just take a second, back off. They get back up those bubbles. They get back up that Rhine shield. And it just allows them to push forward and just run over that more, that comp that wants to spam rather than brawl on the side of Frost Nova. And that's going to claim them that second map here. And it's going to bring us to a tied series 1-1 heading into map 3.
Yeah, so that's 1-1 here, map 3. So I think we have a short halftime break here. So we'll see you back in, I think it's 5 minutes.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious.
All right. Welcome back to the second half of our Gannicus versus Frost Nova match. So we're going to be going into our third map here, which is going to be Eichenwald. But so far in the series, we've seen it go 1-1 with Frost Nova picking up that first map on Nepal, but Gannicus able to bring a strong second map, takes Anubis, and it's going to be Frost Nova sending us to Eichenwald here. And so it should be very exciting to see which team is going to be able to take this one, because both of our first maps were super close. So a lot of subs are actually going to be coming in for the side of Gannicus. They're going to be putting Supreme Fudge back in onto main tank this time, as well as Vig coming back in for Triangulum, and Battletoad going to be subbed out for White Whale. So
Yeah, I find that
another
an interesting choice, taking out Triangulum, seeming he's been, absolutely killing it on the Reaper. But I mean, this is Eichenwald, and there is a lot of long open spaces, especially on that second point, where perhaps the Reaper isn't the play, and maybe he's a Reaper, like he's just a Reaper main.
Initiating match.
So perhaps he's just not better on those longer range fights.
Yeah, definitely. But should be exciting to see how Vig and Milan are going to be playing together. Especially because I believe both of them were mainly playing the Mei in their respective maps that they were in. So it should be interesting to see whether they are going to actually have one of them take the Mei and one of them swap to a different pick in a brawl style, a brawly like rush style, or whether they're just going to play something completely different and just have them both swap to something else.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see it looks like we're going to see the Kree on the side of Gannicus, which is sort of what I was expecting. He's quite handy on this map. He can, shut down a Pharaoh if it comes out. He can shut down a Reaper if it comes out. He can mess with like rotations if you want to use things like Sim Teleport or whatever. He's just very versatile, and it really suits a map like this, I think.
Yeah, and actually, I believe Milan was playing the McCree last map, if I remember correctly, just for that second point defense.
Yeah, and he was
and-
able to get that stun on Rook. I think it was quite. I do remember.
Incoming.
Yeah, also able to pick up 3 kills at the end there, so Milan putting on a relatively good showing during that second map, and now it should be exciting to see what they're able to do here. But it looks like in comes that TP strat over the top, but the team is going to be massively split from Frost Nova. They're both the Ryan and the Mei not going to be able to make it through, and so that just leaves Ziva alone on the point, and out goes the Mac, out goes the baby, and Rook's just going to try to get the side, but it was a little bit scuffed if you're missing your front line pressure almost entirely with both that.
Like that Mei strat is so time based. You've just got to go. There's no opportunity for delay. You just got to go for it.
Yeah, definitely, and with that split happening, down goes the first fight. Luckily, there aren't going to be any else up other than this High Noon coming in for the second fight for the side of Gannicus. So not too much of an ult disadvantage, but yeah, definitely a rough first fight there.
Yeah, we should see Milan use his ult fairly quickly. It's one of those ults that just comes up very quick, and if you have that advantage, we have window out already, which is big pick. We do have Milan using that High Noon, gets a pick but also dies himself.
That's a nice pick on the side, and now with Supreme Fudge going down to that window damage, this is going to be an even fight, but in drops the grab from Choi. It's going to be absolutely massive. Catches 2 and 2 more even behind the wall, and they're going to clean up 3 people out of it. And now it's just going to be Baby Diva left behind, and it looks like they're not going to go for a full stagger onto that Baby Diva. But another
honestly,
really good fight.
The result of that is a little bit surprising, because they both did have like picks down, but the respawn actually favors the attacker here, not the defender. So yeah, interesting to see they weren't able to take advantage of that. See a nice ult come out from Vig. Very perfect timing.
Yeah, he's able to freeze up 3, but also gets the kill onto Scarrow, and now they're able to just push forward. They get the DMAC onto Kaysen, but looks like they're not even going to kill this Baby Diva, just left there.
Stagger.
Yeah, they didn't stagger last fight, but they will do it this time. Oh, but White Whale gonna actually end up falling in the backline. Has that beat for this next fight, but definitely gonna have enough time to get back though. But
Stop crediting White Whale. Fortunately, you are a Lucio, so you'll be back quick. But it can suck up rotations here, and you've forced your team to have to play a lot more passively than they might have otherwise. And you're keeping that beat from them as well. Oh, huge stun coming out by Milan onto Rook's ultimate here.
Yeah, and the Rook still ends up going down, but it stops a lot of the follow-up. Now though, still Supreme Fudge ends up falling here. White Whale gets shattered, so not much that they can do. And now it's just going to be Milan sitting on the back of the point. A massive shatter coming in from Icky just to follow up on all the damage that they were able to put in through Rook's Blizzard. And now I don't even think that there's going to be a touch here. And no, there won't be Supreme Fudge having to just go off the map to get that reset. But Choi Su-hwan has yet another grab up for this next upcoming fight, so looks like there are going to be a good amount of ultimates for Gannicus to try and look to hold this one.
Yeah, absolutely. They should be able to get a nice sort of hold here. But we do see Frost Nova has already taken advantage of the high ground and just sort of taken that away from the defender, which is just going to make it a little bit harder for Milan to have as much value. The defense and the attack have sort of swapped spots here. It's a bit strange. We'll probably see a nice ultimate come here from Choi Su-hwan.
Yeah, and the grab is able to get a lot of people in it, but that lamp is just able to keep everybody alive.
Very nice. It wasn't focused.
Yeah, and now it's just going to be Frost Nova just pushing forward there. And now you're definitely going to want to have that grab here coming into this next fight if you're Gannicus, because, such an important ultimate. It wasn't even like it was used completely poorly in where the grab was placed.
No, it was quite worthy usage, but just a very poor follow-up. You didn't have the window come out. You didn't have Kree sort of on that high ground with the High Noon that could sort of take advantage of it. The lamp wasn't focused, so just quite gnarly. Big
massive blizzard going to be coming.
A big blizzard on top of that castle there.
Yeah, and they're going to use those 3 ultimates, and they're going to be able to find 2 massive picks onto both Icky and Lewis. Down goes the front line and the healing. Luckily, though, Scarrow finds a nice little kill on Milan to keep them in this fight. But with Kaysen's mech going down and Scarrow getting chased off, it looks like this is going to be the end, even if Rook is able to kill the Baptiste.
The kill on the Baptiste is really good though, because he's just preventing so much more ult charge, and they're back to fight. They've used their sound barrier to take this engage while Gannicus is down. They get a nice pick on Choice 2-1 using that back hold.
The shatter,
Oh,
the shatter coming in from Supreme Fudge to just put 3 on the ground. Just puts 3 on the ground and just absolutely sweeps them up. And yeah, both support ultimates being used there to try and push forward, but even still, you see that even though Choi Soo-hwan ends up dying, you know, from the extra damage coming through that window, Gannicus able to just stabilize, and Supreme Fudge finds a massive shatter to just bring that fight back. Now it looks like they're going to be trying to look for the long rotation to Castle, and now Supreme Fudge getting caught out alone, away from his team, ends up getting frozen down, and dies just before the lamp is able to hit. But in comes the Blizzard out from the side of Vig, and after that Immortality Field has already gone down from Frost Nova, there's nothing to keep them alive, and down goes all of them to just the massive Blizzard coming in from Vig there to freeze everybody up, and now it's only 26 seconds left on this time bank. And now we're going to see, you know, a lot of ultimates are actually going to be up on the side of Gannicus. They're going to have this Bob, they're going to have this Grab, they're going to have both of their support ultimates, so it's going to be really difficult, especially if the Grab is able to catch 3 people to the backline. The Bob charges in and just knocks 2 of them out of this world. Milan finds the third.
Milan dropping it from the high ground on the bottom, just taking absolute advantage of their open behinds.
And Milan finding 5 in that fight, just the Bob charges into the Grab, just kills everybody in the backline. There's nothing you can do when you're caught in a Grab. Your window is dead. There's a Bob heading right at you, and massive combo coming in there between that Grab and that Bob, and just everything that they pumped into that fight to give them that hold here. And now they have a win condition on this map. You only have to get it just about halfway through that second point. You don't even have to push it over the bridge, which is typically the hardest spot to push through. You just have to get it about halfway through that point, and this map will be yours. You'll be on game point. So Gannicus has got to be feeling good about that defense.
Yeah, you should definitely be feeling good about that defense. Being able to hold it so that it's not getting into that third point where Brawl is so, you know, powerful is really, really big for Gannicus here. Yeah, it's very, very good. As long as they're able to, you know, fend off any damage coming from Castle and High Ground, Gannicus would have to be feeling really good about themselves, you know, feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, definitely. But now it looks like we're probably going to see the same comps coming through. Gannicus, yeah, no, they're not going to be playing the ball hog here. Supreme Fudge is going to swap over to that Ryan. Choi Soo-hwan seems like he's going to wait a little bit longer, or maybe actually going to be rolling on the hog. Not sure, though, because he's just kind of standing still in spawn, but nah, it looks like it will be the Zarya waiting to the last minute for a little bit of edgy bait here, but yeah, very similar comps to what they both ran last time. Except now Scarrow going to be here already on the flank, puts in a good amount of damage into Supreme Fudge, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. Both bubbles used from Choi Soo-hwan, but they're able to freeze up Kason. Doesn't end up getting DMAX, but both tanks on the side of Frost Nova are going to be relatively low. They're just going to have to back up for a second. Both teams taking a minute to, you know, really just stabilize here. Scarrow trying to find a little bit of an off angle through that middle building, but it doesn't look like they're actually going to be able to find any kills. And in comes the wall from Big. Here comes the push. Supreme Fudge able to just walk forward, takes out that Diva, and even with this window coming up, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, because while Supreme Fudge does fall, 2 more, make it 3 or 4 on the side of Frost Nova are actually going to be going down here, and that is going to be Gannicus taking this first fight and taking this first point. So just some really good plays there coming in, able to just push forward, get that Diva just out of mech, and you know, find the kill into the pilot Diva as well, very early there. And even though Lewis invests that BAP ultimate, it's just not enough to keep the team alive.
Yeah, that is just a nice take there. Both teams had quite a bit of discipline, but it's sort of the attacker. Big immortality coming out there. Still, you know, Supreme Fudge dies, but the rest of the team lives, but not for too long.
Yeah, a massive wall from Rook there to just completely split off Supreme Fudge, and like you said, while that immortality field was able to keep him alive for a little bit longer, it's Wall stays up for a relatively long time where, you have time to focus through that Bap Immort. And they're able to find that kill into the Ryan, and even though Milan finds that flank with the High Noon, it's just, not going to grant them any kills there in that fight.
Now, Supreme Fudge did use his ultimate there. I feel like that was a bit of an error. We do have 4 ults incoming from Frostnova here. A very, very nice freeze there, just to save that space and shut down
huge grab! It's going to catch all 5 of them on the point, but Scarrow does not care if he's caught in a grab. Is still going to hunt you down. Takes out both of the tanks on the side of Gannicus, and even though there was a massive grab, it's still just no follow-up. Scarrow saving the team, finding those nice left clicks onto the tanks. And Reaper's called a tank buster for a reason. He does so much damage when you get too close to him. And really just putting that to show in that fight. Now though, in comes an early window. Supreme Fudge looking for the Fire Strike through, just about not going to be able to find it, but Big finds a very big Blizzard, but it's going to be covered for by the bomb, and the bomb is actually going to take out MC.
Very good bomb.
A massive bomb, but early Vincent ends up getting traded out by the High Noon, but in comes the Shatter from Supreme Fudge!
Nice Supreme Fudge.
That's everybody on the ground, just...
And I know I told him off about using that before, but he caught up to Iki's ult charge and then some, and gets that massive shatter, which is just going to get them past this whole castle problem, which is really, really good here. There might be time here for just the one more fight, but they'll want to be speedy about it, and Supreme Fudge is up there. Diva's going to have to touch. I don't think Diva's going to touch. I think it's going to be a bit of a C9. Nice wall coming in there. Scary does make it around. Scary does make it around, and he gets quite a nice thing. But not enough. They're off the point.
Get the hold. A massive boot coming from White Whale there just sends 2 of them off of the map. And Milan finding that early kill. Just massive plays coming out from Gannicus there. Wins themselves the second map, and now we're going into map 4 with Gannicus on match point. And here we can see, here's the play of the game with just Choi Soo-hwan finding an absolutely massive grab to secure themselves this defense on this first point. And really, I have to highlight some of these plays that Choi Soo-hwan has been coming up with, because just putting in absolutely massive work on the Zarya, just doing so much damage, getting these high impact grabs, and even when the grabs aren't able to be followed up on, just constantly making very big individual plays throughout this entire map here. And we saw the same thing coming out on Temple of Anubis as well. Just putting in just massive work on that Zarya and playing along Supreme Fudge, who we saw hit just a couple of massive shatters to save Gannicus this map and to put them up at game point. But even with all that said, it seems Supreme Fudge is going to get subbed out. Dome going back in here. I'm expecting to see a couple more swaps coming in because that's just what we've seen from previous maps from Gannicus. And it will actually be Triangulum coming back in for Milan. And finally, I'm not sure whether or not they're going to be putting Battletoad back in, but a very good map there from Gannicus to just really amp up the pressure that they had in the series, take it to that 2 maps, and now they went from being down 1-0 to being up 2-1, and only 1 map away from victory here. Frostnova has got to be feeling a little bit worried. They had that strong first map, like I was saying, but really just losing momentum throughout these previous 2. And they have to just take a second here, really gather themselves and think of a game plan which is going to get themselves back into the series for these 4th and 5th possible maps here. But really not looking too great for Frostnova. Gannicus putting in a very good showing on Eichenwald.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to move into Gibraltar now. And as you expected, they are asking for another thing, but they have asked for an interesting sub out. They're saying sub whiteout for MC, but both of them are still in the game. So I have a feeling they may have requested the wrong thing here. So we'll have to see whether they're going to make a change to their support line at all.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not 100% sure why you would, because that second map, MC and White Whale just played so well throughout that entire time, especially White Whale finding that nice boop. MC getting those early windows a lot of the time to save them fights. And I mean, like, Baptiste, your ultimate is so like quickly charging that almost every single time in that first fight, you're gonna be the first ultimate up on the board. And you can see that he was just constantly beating Lewis to that window, just getting it down and just getting so much value out of it. But it seems like he will end
Yeah,
up taking.
MC is out, and they have subbed Battletoad back in. I think this is just a team, they all just want to play the game. They're a pretty nice, I think, knit of team members. I think they have 9 on their roster, and so I think they're just happy to chill and play and experiment a bit, because obviously when you're doing this sort of thing, not your off tank may end up main taking some, and your main support may end up aim supporting or flexing a bit. So why not? It's a bit of fun. And good on them for having that sort of principle. Certainly the further up you go, the less you can live by those principles. So why not?
Yeah, definitely. So one thing which I am very excited to be seeing on this map is Triangulum coming back in, because throughout those first 2 maps, we saw him just making countless plays on this Reaper pick, which he will be locking in again, just finding very impactful kills in such close fights and doing so much work for his team. So it should be really exciting to see what he's able to do in this upcoming map. And so it looks like Frost Nova showing a little bit of an interesting comp and spawn. It looks like they might want to be running this, this hard bulldozer with the Winston Reinhardt, where you just get so much cleave damage when you play it quickly. Especially with this Doomfist, just looking to hard engage onto, looking to hard engage onto Gannicus and just kill them all. And it's going to be very easy when you get anti-nades like that. 5 people on the side of Gannicus are going to be purpled, and it's going to give so much pressure onto the side of Frost Nova, and they're going to be able to find 2 picks off of it. Rook ends up going down, but it's not going to be enough for Gannicus to pull it back, and now Wiskero TPing into the backline, looking for the kill on the White Whale, looking to find it. Dome just about not going to be able to save his Baptiste. They're able to save his own mech, though, so not going to have to wait for any kind of staggering from that D.Va, but a massive nade coming in from Lewis to just put so much pressure onto everybody on the side of Gannicus.
Yeah. Pretty impressive, first take there, I think, by Frost Nova. I feel like this might be a little bit of a weaker sort of roster. Certainly, that shatter has just come in by Icky. They're caught Dome out, however we do say his name. Sorry, I apologize if I mispronounced it. But they have taken it. D.Va's going to get a mech back really quickly. Another shatter coming out, and that'll just clean up that fight.
Yeah, and even with Icky being able to find that, big 3-man shatter, not able to get enough kills off of it, and it's going to get turned around by Gannicus, who are now going to have, a decent couple of ults here. I'm especially looking at this Blizzard, a very big fight-winning ultimate. Facing up into this beat coming out from early Vincent. There's no D.Va on the side of Frost Nova to try and, look for an eat on that Blizzard. So it's going to be all down to the supports to try and just keep everybody alive throughout it. And it looks like Rook's going to look for a little bit of poke damage. Has to back out, but they're just going to be walking underneath to set themselves up on cart. But Rook gets cut out of position and ends up going down, and in comes a massive Blizzard. Get 3 frozen onto the cart, immediately able to take out 1, 2, make it 3, and now they're just pushing forward onto Kasens. And even with the B coming out, even with the Nano coming out, it's still not enough to keep you alive through a Blizzard. Just a frosty death awaiting everybody on the side of Frost Nova.
That is actually such, in my opinion, a bad use of Nano. They were 3 down. He uses a Nano, which is effectively really the win con for the next fight. You're either going to Nano your Doom or your Reaper, maybe even your Rhine to just solidify a fight. But, he wasn't able to use it, and they just got so much farm from it too. Look, they've got 4 ults now. Almost 5, because they were just able to farm so much off that Blizzard and then Nano and Barrier. It's so much free farm for Gannicus. So I don't see Frost Nova here being able to take this first point here.
Oh, Choi gets slipped out of the shatter, but it's just about not going to matter as both supports go down. But Scarrow decides to bring this fight back, kills 2 of his own, and now it's
in though by Battletoad here.
Yeah, now it's gonna be an even fight coming into the point. Vig ends up actually going down though, and now Dome gonna get chased away. Yeah, Scarrow just finding
by Scarrow.
Yeah, just finding all of the kills needed in that fight, especially with that Death Blossom, able to find 2. And now it's going to set them up here, but in comes the Death Blossom for Triangulum, immediately able to find 2 of his own. And now that's going to be massive, even though Dome ends up losing the mech and ends up losing his life. Triangulum finds a 3rd kill, but Icky though gets another 3-man shatter. Triangulum goes down, and in the midst of all of that, the point is going to be capped by Frost Nova. And so it does not matter who wins this fight here. It is going to be Frost Nova moving on to the 2nd point and getting 2 minutes 30 more in their time bank.
Whew, that was intense, dude. Like, holy moly. They really tried so hard to just cling onto that point, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't soon enough. Certainly Scarrow was the star of the show there, with that initial fight to push into the last part of that first point.
Yeah, definitely Scarrow is just pulling up so many massive plays there to keep the team alive. And now is already going to be close to another Death Blossom, and with Choi Soo-hwan getting antied, it's going to be very difficult for them to stay alive. But now Icky ends up getting frozen, gets the nano to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Now Scarrow is in your backline. Everybody's got to turn around, and it's more from Reaper.
Holy moly.
Massive plays.
Popping off. I mean, Dome, I don't think Dome's comfort pick is Diva. It really doesn't seem to be the case. He wants to be up there in the front. We did see him playing, I think, some of that main tank earlier in the day. And I just don't think Diva is necessarily his strong suit. He was not looking for that at all. He was not tracking it at all. Big shadow coming in here from Choi. But I mean, you know, that's to be expected at this point. You know, they've got the respawns that they need on Frost Nova, and it's not really going to impact them too much. They're going to just speed in here. There's no Shatter. There's no May ult. There's no Reaper ult to really stop them here.
But in comes the immediate dive coming in from Frost Nova to try and just push forward. Out comes the Doom Ultimate. Not going to be able to find any kills, but will do a decent amount of damage. Choi Soo-hwan getting got very low. Eventually will die. But Triangulum able to take out Scarrow now. Down goes that one Reaper, and there's a lot of damage now missing from the side of Frost Nova. But now in comes a big push trying to take out Icky, but it's just not about going to get him. And Dome will actually lose mech in the process, while Rook is just doing getting a couple kills. Finds Battletoad. Vig just gonna try and stay alive and point for as long as possible.
Doing a good idea of sort of keeping the back line distracted so they're not able to heal their front line. And it looks like Frost Nova here will push in. I think I want to see Cassin's here change here. That he changes perhaps to Zarya or maybe Diva to just take advantage of this high ground. It does look like he's staying on the Winston. I'm really not sure what the reasoning is here. Winston, Ryan, like that's a lot of HP and not a lot of damage mitigation.
Dome just drops the bomb in a bit of a weird spot, but in comes the Blizzard though, able to freeze up 2, but the Nano is actually very well timed to save them. And a big shatter just about isn't going to be able to keep them in this fight though, because
beautiful plays by Rook and Scarrow here. They seem to actually have a really, really nice synergy.
Yeah, you saw in comes the Blizzard and everybody's trying to focus down Kason's, but the Nano gets dropped onto him by Lewis, keeps him alive for a little bit longer, and that opens up so much space for Scarrow and Rook to find a couple of kills in the backline, but now it looks like the game
this is so unfortunate for Frost Nova here. I mean, the good thing is that we do have at least one other push here if they do lose this by not having Lewis here. Lewis is DC'd. It's a bit unfortunate. I don't know if he was close to his ult. I don't remember. Do you remember?
I believe he just used it on the Winston that fight, so luckily not going to lose much ultimate charge, but still with only 1 minute left on the time bank here, I really don't think Frost Nova can afford going into this fight 5v6 as they wait for Lewis to actually come back from spawn on that Ana. So either they just have to completely back out here and, lose a lot of momentum to try and wait for their Ana to get back, or they have to try and win a 5v6 without their main source of healing. I think it's possible though, because early Vincent, if you'll see, does have that beat. So they could look for an aggro beat, especially seeing as there are no real, ultimates on the side of Gannicus. But even still, there's just going to be a certain time frame with an aggressive beat, whereas if
This
you
is
don't win the fight,
very hard for Frost over here. I know that like Choi Suan, he's been playing Ryan, I think, the whole map here on defense. I don't think that it's the play here for this contest. They're coming back with no ults. They're coming back, on this sort of this rush comp, but they've got like Doom and they've got Reaper and they've got Monkey who can escape the trap of May. Do you know what I mean? So I'm feeling like maybe you don't bring out Ryan here and you either come back on double bubble or you come back perhaps even, on that ball for just stall potential. Yes, you're going to take a lot of damage. Yes, you're going to die, but you are going to draw some of those resources out and just give time for Triangulum and for Battletoad to like get their ults up. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking here anyway.
yeah, definitely a couple of stall picks would be nice to at least, kind of reassure the fact that they're going to be able to keep that contest up, especially considering how close the card is. I think they will be able to get a contest coming up from that left side door, but again, pushing into a shatter from Icky, and we've seen that Icky's been able to make big plays with these shatters throughout the entire series. And so definitely going to be looking to make another one of those. And when there's a team, really rushing to try and get back onto that point to contest it, a lot of the times that Reinhardt isn't going to be hard shielding up in the front line. And so Icky might be able to find a good opportunity here. So I definitely think something like a ball, they do have a Lucio, luckily. So, already from the comp. But yeah, definitely something like a ball could help out with a little bit more stall potential so that even if they do end up, losing a couple throughout this fight, it's not just going to be game over for them.
Looks like we are going to have to find out something is sort of going on where I think they're not able to get their player back potentially. So I'm just going to have a chat to them so we can just see what's going on. It's very unfortunate to lose a player in the middle of a map.
Yeah, definitely. But, as bad as this is for Frost Nova, I still do think that this next upcoming fight is going to be winnable for them. Like I said, they have that ultimate advantage, and they have a burst of sustainability from that beat from early Vincent if they decide to use it more aggressively. But even still, you don't. I mean, having to invest that Lucio beat into a fight where you didn't even really lose your Ana. It's just about your Ana being, really unluckily disconnected there. So that it really does suck for Frost Nova, especially the fact that this is, game point for Gannicus. So if they end up, losing this fight and perhaps losing this map off of that disconnect from Lewis, it is really going to suck for them. But I mean, there's not really much that we can do that can be done about it, right? Internet issues are always going to be something that plagues online tournaments, online leagues, and stuff. So there really is, there's no clear solution to really get Lewis back in, and you just have to kind of hope that everything kind of shakes up in the same way that it would have had Lewis not disconnected. Obviously, we're not sure what that would have been, whether or not it seems Frost Nova was a little bit advantaged to take this point, but anything can happen, especially with some big playmakers such as Choi Soo Hwan and Triangulum on the side of Gannicus. But yeah, definitely very rough to end up losing Lewis here. in this upcoming final fight, especially after everything that Lewis was able to do for them in the previous fight with that nano to keep Kaysen's alive and to keep that fight alive. So yeah, really unlucky timing, and just overall, there's not much that can be said for it other than just unlucky. But now it seems that there are going to be a couple of talks between admins and players about what is going to happen throughout the rest of this. So it's going to be just a little while longer before we end up getting back into this series here. But yeah, definitely very exciting coming into this final fight. And so what we can see just from what's on the map right now is that all of Gannicus is going to be trying to push through this left side doorway coming out of spawn. Coming out of spawn, and then but then on the side of Frost Nova, they only really have Skiro, Rook, and Kaysens on the point right now. Icky still is running back from spawn, and so is early Vincent. Gonna at least have that Lucio speed to get him and his Ryan back a little bit faster, but even still, not quite gonna have that Ana up in time for the fight. But like I was saying, both early Vincent and his Ryan have those ultimates here, which could be fight turning depending on how they're used. But it looks like now
we're going to enter now. They have said that they are all ready. So 3, 2, 1. We're going to start now.
All right, yeah. So Anna's gonna come this next fight, and we can see Gannicus immediately pushing under the point. But it seems Frost Nova decide just to back out here. They don't want to try and take that fight. They don't want to do the risky aggro beat without Nana. They just want to reset and hope that they're able to win another one, give up a little bit of momentum. But probably the right decision here, because taking a 5v6 without your main source of healing is definitely very difficult. In comes the shadow from Icky, just about not able to find anything, but in comes the aggro beat. They're just going to start pushing forward here, but out comes a very nice lamp from the side of White Whale. But even though that happens, Scaro's still going to end up falling, but so will Kaysen. Triangle on the point, drops the Death Blossom, kills Rook. And now Choi Soo Hwan getting taken very low, but Triangulum just finding kill after kill here. Scaro not going to be able to finish off Choi Soo Hwan, and it looks like it's going to be Gannicus just setting themselves up in this defensive hold here, stopping Frost Nova from being able to push any farther forward. And I don't think anybody is going to be able to touch Rook getting blocked. Or wait, actually no, in comes Lucio from early Vincent, gets around to the back of the point. Icky now onto the Wrecking Ball. There will be 2 people on. In drops Rook. Yeah, they get a very nice touch here. In drops Rook, but is immediately going to get killed off. But there's still going to be 3 people alive. In comes the Death Blossom from Scaro, able to fight 2, gets both support servers. No healing up for the side of Gannicus. And now Big is going to get dropped down to the pile driver coming in from Icky. Triangulum just trying to do his best to stay alive, but is not going to be able to. He's not going to be long for this world. Ends up getting dropped to Kaysens. And now both supports are going to be back on the point, trying to keep themselves alive. But White Whale immediately gets dropped. Battletoad on the Lucio, just trying to stay alive. Not going to be able to do so. Big drops the ice block, tries to get back under the point, gets cleaned up. Choi drops the shatter, able to find 2, but no kills will come through. Out comes the Death Blossom. Almost zones him off at the point. Rook goes down. Triangle finds the second one. Triangle finds the third. It's turning this fight.
Popping off.
He turns it single-handedly. Brings back 3. Brings it back for the break. It's just Icky alive with the poor Triangle about to come down. It's going to end up falling, and Scaro will not make it back. Massive plays coming out.
Extremely nice play there by Triangulum. Choi did, at the very, very end, swap to the ball. Oh, that was a very, very intense ending to hold it so that the third point was not capped. So, yeah, big plays there, particularly by Triangulum. Vig being able to just get his little finger onto the cart there, even though Cassins was doing such a great job of primaling him off even through his block. So that was just absolutely huge by Triangulum there to just get those much needed picks through their stagger.
Yeah, definitely. And just absolutely massive Death Blossom coming out from Triangulum. I mean, we saw massive Death Blossoms from both sides. First, we see Scarrow gets onto the point, is able to take out both supports on the side of Gannicus, and they're able to just absolutely push that forward. And it looked like they were going to win the entire time until Triangulum gets back onto the point. It hits Q, uses that Death Blossom, finds, you know, 2 of his own, and then hunts down 2 more after the fact, just cleaning up 4 off of the point. And the respawns are so close that almost immediately, as soon as that happens, you see the rest of Gannicus rushing back onto the point, clearing off those final 2 members, and just an incredible Death Blossom from Triangulum to pull them back from the brink.
Yeah, big plays there by Triangulum. So we do have the traditional brawl here, but Frost Nova is really loving this Rhine Monkey. But did you see how easily Monkey just melted there without the support of a Zarya or a D.Va?
Yeah, and also, you know, with the fact that Triangulum is on the field here, finds 3 immediately. My god, Triangulum just seems to be doing so much damage and finding so many kills here on this Reaper. And I mean, that's another thing about, you know, Kaysen's playing this Winston. Not only is you know, he himself dying quite a bit because he doesn't have that defensive potential, but not playing D.Va into a Reaper means that you don't have anything to eat all of the damage that's coming in from Triangulum. But luckily, they're able to take him out. You know, a nice sleep coming in from Lewis to, you know, kill him in the backline. And now a big walls comes in to split Choi Soo-hwan, but is not just about not going to be enough. The Shatter ends up actually getting blocked by that Winston bubble, and now Rook is able to follow up on a Dome. And now with that Immortality Field getting dropped and a big anti-nade coming in, they might be able to push forward, but a nice wall from Vig just stops the push entirely from Frost Nova. They're gonna, you know, regain control of the point, but, you know, not gonna be able to actually kill Choi Soo-hwan, who will escape with all of the energy. And
yeah,
actually see
it doesn't really. I was really quite a strange sort of push in a way by both teams there. Yes, Dome got picked really quick, but I don't know why he's trying to shatter into, you know, a Monkey who hasn't used his bubble yet. Seems a bit odd.
Yeah, but now here comes this next fight, and immediately that Monkey is gonna get nanoed. Dome almost gets frozen. Yeah, almost gets frozen, but just about able to get out. Triangulum in the back line finds 2, finds a 3rd. Both supports go down. Triangulum will eventually end
from Icy. I don't think it's going to be enough though. Or Icky rather, my bad. Poor pronunciation, I'm sure. Massive thing by Triangulum with him. Like, who is this man?
Yeah, Triangulum just always seems to be in the right position to find these massive Death Blossoms, and, you know, no D.Va again is coming to bite, you know, Frost Nova in the back.
Honestly, Triangulum must be looking at this other team and just thinking like, no Cree, you beauty, you know? Just absolutely.
No Cree, no
just
D.Va,
no Cree,
no Counter Reaper,
no D.Va, not even like the Zarya, no Counter Reaper, no Rig.
Yeah, but
no.
And comes a massive grab and a big blizzard to follow up on it. And now everybody is frozen. Triangulum just trying to pump this damage into Icky. Eventually, is going to be able to find it early. And early Vincent will die as well.
And Rook trying, but just no success. I mean, into that Mei, it is harder to play that Doomfist with her Ice Block, her Wall, her Freeze, with the Immortality on her side. You know, she's just going to end up winning. It doesn't matter how much pocket you're going to get from Lewis. It's not going to be enough.
Now Battletoad a little bit too far forward here. It might have been trying to go.
I think we've seen that a few times from Battletoad. Nice right clicks by Vic there. Just I don't know if Vic realizes he's playing Mei or McCree, but anyway.
Yeah, but now Choi Soo-hwan actually gets dropped down to 1 HP, but a huge lamp gonna actually come in from White Whale is going to keep them alive in this fight, and now Triangulum goes into the back, finds a Death Blossom, finds 2, make it 3! Triangulum, every single time you see that check mark on his side of the screen, you know that it's gonna be 3 or more kills. Triangulum just finds it every single time without fail.
And look, Rook now has realized his error, his mistake. He is swapping to that Cree, but I think it's going to be a case of a little, like, you know, little too late. I don't think it's gonna like really work for them too much. There's no way for him to get like any high ground advantage here. They have brought in that D.Va. They have Kachins on the D.Va now, but it's too late. It's all too late.
Oh.
Big shatter coming in from Icky though. Massive shatter, but is countered by just White Whale's ability to pocket his team. He didn't get caught in that shadow, and he uses his window to heal. A lot of people almost forget that a really good use of that window is to heal, because it will double or, you know, significantly impact the amount of healing you do as well as damage.
A massive shatter return, 5 domes.
And yeah, absolutely.
Wolf will not be able to get the Deadeye off and end up dying throughout that ultimate, and now it's just going to be a big scrap on the point. Icky already going down, and now with Lewis dying, Scarrow just trying to pull everything back here, able to take out White Whale, but will not live very long at the point. Yeah, and in comes Triangulum. Look at that ultimate percentage. He has it up here, and he's gonna drop it 5-3!
Another 3k from Triangulum on the Reaper ult. Nothing to stop him. Nobody can do anything about that man. We do have Lewis here trying to just get a little bit done on point, but it's just, I can't see this being enough. I mean,
going to be, and
the trying stagger, but 2.5
I'm not sure if Lewis
is never happening. Sorry, big play by Triangulum there. Just carried his team.
Yeah, Triangulum just doing seemingly everything throughout especially this final map, and even in those first two in which he was playing, is gonna take home the win for Gannicus in this series here. And you know, that's gonna be a very big win, knocking another win off of Frost Nova, putting themselves a little bit higher in the standings. And you know, just massive plays from Triangulum, just 20 Death Blossom kills. 20 Death Blossom kills off of 7 Death Blossoms. That is not something that you see very often. Triangulum just doing something special on that Reaper. Just every single time that his team needed him, he was there, and he was getting 3 kills in the backline. Just doing absolutely everything. It just felt like there was no answer for him on the side of Frost Nova. And I mean, how are you going to answer a Reaper who is just tearing you apart with the skill that Triangulum brought, just seemingly always in the right position, seemingly always hitting the shots needed, and seemingly always having that Death Blossom at the perfect time to win a fight. Massive plays coming out from Gannicus, and while it is so unlucky for Frost Nova to end up losing Lewis in that, you know, defining fight there on the end of Watchpoint Gibraltar, I'm not sure if that would have even saved them, because it's not like Gannicus won that in a very clean fight because of Lewis being gone. It felt like Gannicus won that final fight just because it was scrappy, and it allowed Triangulum to find a massive Death Blossom pick. And while obviously we don't know what would have happened in that other scenario, I still do feel like Gannicus really does deserve this win here. Triangulum, massive plays coming out. White Whale just doing so much on that support, as well as, you know, Choi Soo Hwan. It felt like whether he was on that Zarya or whether he was on that Reinhardt, just making play after play after play, setting up for Triangulum, setting up for everybody on Gannicus to find these kills and find this eventual win in this series. So just incredible play coming out from Gannicus to give themselves another win in the standings.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to get that MVP out. Look, my vote is just going to be on Triangulum. I think he was by far the better player of tonight. We saw, especially on those last 2 maps, just how impressive he was.
Yeah, I mean, I really cannot argue with that. Triangulum just really putting on a show tonight, and I feel like no one else deserves MVP from this match as much as he does.
Oh my goodness, like it's coming in like pretty quick. He's already got 71% of the votes, 15 voters in already for Triangulum. It's looking pretty full on. I think, how long do we wait for these things? I'll just wait for it to close just in case there is a change in those ratings, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, Triangulum.
Yeah, so we'll get that MSP voting up while we're at it.
Yeah, Triangulum just definitely deserves the MVP from this match. I mean, just fantastic plays coming in from the Reaper here. Throughout all 4 maps, even in that first map of Nepal, where Gannicus did end up losing, Triangulum still was a shining bright spot, and really just took lead throughout those next couple of maps. Did end up getting subbed out for Eichenwald, but on both Watchpoint, Gibraltar, and Temple of Anubis, we just saw Triangulum really
I'm
just,
just gonna,
just leading the charge for Gannicus.
yeah, so just going to bring Triangulum in now. He did get that MVP with a whopping 15 votes. It's pretty nuts. So I'll just drag him in now. Hi, Triangulum. How are you going today?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Yeah, very impressive win there. 3-1 against Frost Nova. Were you having a good time?
Yes, we were.
Now I saw that you were picking Reaper an awful lot. Do you think he's your best player, or or is he your favorite player? Character
Hon-
rather. You're the player.
Honestly, for this match, we really wanted to work on our brawl because we feel like it's our worst comp. So that's what we decided to do today. I haven't really played Reaper in a few months, but after today, I'm probably going to be playing him a lot more.
hmm
Yeah,
You
you
seem to
certainly
have a
did.
really good sense. Sorry, go on, Cole.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, just incredible plays coming out from you on that Reaper, especially with those Death Blossoms. And I mean, so you said that your team was really looking to just try and practice that brawl a little bit more tonight. Saying as you did that it was your worst comp, but if that was your worst comp, I'm really excited to see what else you have in store for us. So what would you
So
say is your best composition?
Our best composition is definitely double shield. We like to run it with either double sniper or just throwing a Junkrat in there on some maps.
Oh, okay, so really you play sort of a more long range comp, so instead of this rush that you were playing today.
Yes. We really wanted to work on our brawl because we felt like if we play brawl more, we can work on our team synergy and our comms rather than just like individual skill.
Yeah, no, that's certainly true. I think Brawl is just one of those really, really good maps, comps for developing team synergy. Especially since you guys really will have to work a lot on team synergy because you have such a fluctuating sort of or rotating roster.
Yes, definitely.
Do you guys find that a little bit like difficult to manage, or you've sort of got the pattern in place and it's not too bad?
Um, it can be hard to manage, but that's been a main focus recently,
hmm
and I think we've gotten a lot better at it. With all of the players we have a lot of flexibility, and just building that synergy between each other makes it to where we can sub anyone in whenever we need.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely good in the sense that if somebody is away, you know that you have someone who is up to date on the rest of what the team is focusing on. So that is one like really, I guess, good benefit to having so many subs that actually play. Certainly, some people can get to be a bit washed if they're just sitting on sub um, on bench all the time. So it's good to see you getting everyone involved.
Yes, I feel
Do
like
you
that's really important with our team.
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions for those who want to get those massive death blossoms? Because you got, what was it, 20 kills in 7 blossoms? Kill
Yes.
switch? Was it? Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
like
it was
that's
20 for
insane.
7.
So
Uh,
you were able to just exploit that. How did you, do it?
I can't take all the credit for it. We have a lot of comms in our
Mhm.
team. Like if I didn't have the full support of my team, I would not have been able to do that. If I didn't have like Diva Matrix, a bubble, immortality,
Yeah,
if
of
I didn't
course.
have any of that, I wouldn't have been able to pull any of it off. So really, I have to thank my team for that.
Yeah, yeah. And so you say you have like quite a lot of comms. So who sort of does a lot of the scouting for you guys so you know that like they're ready for this, you know, um attack, so to speak?
Choi Soo Hwan, we just call him Choi. He's definitely the core of our comms and very useful.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good to have Choi's the man you want on the comms to give you all that information. Well, that's really, really good to hear from you guys. If you have any sort of final things you want to say.
Um, I just want to say thank you for the nomination, and uh, I think, and that's it. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic. So I think now, and thanks for coming to chat. So I think now we're going to go see if Scarrow will come talk to us because he has had the very unfortunate uh, Um, well, I don't know. It's not unfortunate. It's a bit fun, really, isn't it? Of getting the MSP um, vote in. So thanks once more, and I'll return you to your channel. Okay, catch you
Thanks for
later.
having me.
All right. Well, let's see if we can't get Scarrow in to chat. Yeah. So, what did you think there of what? Um, I've had a mental blank.
Triangulum.
Triangulum had to say.
Yeah, no, I
You take
definitely
a second.
think, and I definitely think that it should be something which other teams should take note of, purely because, he was talking about how, they thought that Brawl was their worst comp, and that they were mainly just playing it to practice it. But I mean,
Yeah.
if that's your worst comp, I'm scared of what is your best. So
Yeah.
if I'm any team seeing this right now, all I know is I'm not gonna try and take Gannicus onto any kind of double shield maps, or play any kind of poke comp against them, because really just scary stuff coming out from them. And especially what he said about Choi Soo Hwan,
Mm-hmm.
um about Choi Soo Hwan being like that, comms leader throughout the game, which I think was, it's very important to have a player like that who is, making those shot calls, doing the scouting to make sure that those plays that you want to make and the plays that you want to go for are going to end up working out and are going to be, cohesive as a team. And I mean, Choi Soo Hwan not only just showing up in comms like Triangle said, but also really, showing up in game. So a couple of really special players for this Gannicus squad. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
really
So
looking forward to see what they can do.
yeah. Well done to Gannicus. I think Scarrow is going to dip on us. He doesn't want to take the heat for being the Chiefs player. Now, look, I actually think that's not fair. I thought Scarrow, he actually had some really, really nice plays. We did, see how Scarrow and Rook really, really well to even get the team to the third point. He got that massive play on that first point of Gibraltar, which actually got them to even cap first point in the first place. So I really do think that was a bit of an unfair MSP, but you know what they say, the public is always right. And I guess, our politicians totally reflect that all the time.
I wonder. But yeah, no, I definitely don't think Scarrow played particularly badly today. But
I don't think so
I mean,
either.
when you're playing that Reaper versus Triangulum, you're not
Mhm.
you're not gonna
No,
look all too special when the
no,
Reaper on the
that's
other team
true.
is getting 3Ks every other fight. Like,
That's very true.
Scarrow definitely doing well today. Like you said, don't think he deserved that MSP award, but yeah, just playing next to a player who has the caliber of Reaper as Triangulum, it's
Yeah.
definitely difficult to make yourself look all too good.
Look, and that's very, very much true. Like, people are looking and you can see the difference. So I guess, someone says DPS diff in the thing. Well, maybe you do because you see how good Triangulum is, and Scarrow just wasn't quite at that level. So anyway, bad luck. You can prove yourself again. Hopefully we'll see both teams in playoffs in 2 weeks' time. Really looking forward to that. Maybe we'll see these guys go up against each other. We'll see a bit of double sniper come out of Gannicus. I haven't seen it yet. I'd love to, if he's that good on Reaper, I want to see if he's good on Sniper too. We'll see that then.
Yeah. Anyways, it seems like that's gonna bring us to the end of our broadcast tonight. So I hope everybody has a lovely night and enjoy the match. We will see you all next time.